Hello, everyone.
Hi, you guys.
I'm Ashley.
And I'm JohnnateJones, and we're Moms on the Mic.
I'll let you have it.
All right, and we're just doing a recap of what we went over last week on our radio segment, and it was relationships and things that's dealing with that. But first, we'd just like to thank everybody for supporting us and for being with us, and even to the call-ins that we have at our radio segment, even to our page and what we're doing. We just want to truly thank everybody for participating and riding along with us with this journey. It's been amazing, a very, very different experience to say the least, but it's been awesome. Did you have anything you want to say, Ashley?
Brand ambassadors. I know you heard it on part 1, but just brand ambassador.
Yes.
That's a little milestone right there for us.
It is.
Because we have been working hard and putting ourselves out there. We haven't got too many views and stuff yet, but like one day, like, hey.
Oh, yeah. We're building.
Yeah, just continue to do what you're doing so far. We all make it together.
Yeah, that will be on the resume. So anything like that, little tips and tricks like that. If something that you're doing that you wasn't doing last year, add it to the list. If you're doing something, add it. Everything counts.
Push.
Yes.
Okay, so Friday, we just confirmed that we're gonna have our special guest, who happens to be the person who we are brand ambassador for, and Miss Jaleesa, she'll be on, and she'll be talking about our next topic, which will be colors and what they mean, and we'll be finishing up relationship goals. Yeah, we'll get more into relationship. That's what we're gonna talk about a little bit tonight. Just a little recap from last Friday.
Yeah.
All right. So do you want to get into? Let me see.
What different types of relationships, for the people who don't know, that is out there, Ashley? What different type of relationships? Because when people think relationships, they just think of boyfriend and girlfriend, or just things of that, like in general. As soon as you think of relationships, you think of a significant other. So what type of relationships out there? I'll go a little bit more in detail for the people who don't know.
Okay, for the people who don't know, a relationship is a bond between 2 or more people, and it's just a special connection that they have. And the 4 different types is a family, friends, acquaintance. Acquaintance can be like co-workers or people that you see every day that you shop with. Like if you go to Walmart, see a certain cashier a lot, or you go to a McDonald's window, just people that you meet in general. And then you have a romantic or lovership, like JohnnateJones likes to say. Yeah.
Coin.
So those are the 4 different types, and we'll just get into what makes good bonding relationships as far as they are. Because once you get to know yourself, then you can always learn how to get to know other people more, and how you want yourself to be treated and how you want other people to be treated. So, Ayana from Ayana.
You did good. That was a good.
Say it.
Yeah, good shot. Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
Okay, so Ayana, she had a good video from Evan Carmichael's. If you want to look it up, it's Ayana Vincent's relationship advice, and she had 5 tips on how to, like, basically secure a good relationship, like whether it's for your family or with your friends or co-workers or with your partner. So the first one was to start with you. Knowing and loving yourself and taking time out to know more about yourself does wonders for, like, the world, not only just yourself but the whole world, because you'll understand how you want your environment to be and how you want to be treated and how you want to treat other people. Do you want to say any more thing else about starting with yourself?
Once again, like you said, that's a good number 1 thing. Self-priority, just self-care at the end of the day, just self-love. And like what you just said, if you know how to love yourself and care for yourself, you will know how to do that and reflect that and reciprocate that towards others. So these are some of the things, like I said, little tips and tricks that we will be going over, and different tools that can help you not only mend your relationship with your loved ones, but just relationships all overall, and just period.
Exactly. And then the second tip is to make sure you're in a healthy relationship, because like once you realize who you are, you'll understand what kind of people that you want around you and what you
Say that, yes,
want
yes,
to be
yes.
involved into. You
Yes.
don't want to be in the situations where you feel like you can't be yourself, or you're not, or you're just uncomfortable.
Yeah, not being true to who you are, not like you said, not just being yourself or not living yourself. And so, if you're not even being truthful with yourself, how can you dare be truthful with the person you're with, or even suspect to get real results out of something that you're not even being truthful from the source, which is yourself? So that makes a difference.
Yes, and practice. Number 3 is practice good relationship care. Be understanding, be willing to talk, be open minded. Always be sure to, like, if you notice someone's down or something like that, give a hug every now and then, or blow a kiss. Nowadays, you know, you can't get too close to people.
Yeah. And then you say, what is it? Practice good
relationship care.
Yeah, that's fine. I feel like that's just saying in general, just respecting, just consider other people at the end of the day. Just practice good morals, good values, good practice of just relationship. If you're searching for something or wanting a relationship goal for yourself, it's little steps at a time. Just practice something that you want at the end of the day. If you're wanting a good relationship, practice, do more communicating, do a little bit more giving at the end of the day versus trying to receive, or just holding people up to a certain expectations or judging them. If you don't want to be judged yourself, don't ask for something that you're not willing to give, or don't ask for something from somebody else if you're not doing it or expecting to do it yourself at the end of the day.
Yeah, always, if you have a bowl of soup, always give half of your bowl of soup. Don't ever try to come and expect the other person to fill the other half all the time. Like, always come to common ground, be in the middle with each other. No matter what kind of relationship. It could be with your children. Like, I know children are like those broke best friends, but still, like, there's a matter of respect. Like, you have to have, that's what it all boils down to. And then I did have ways that you can tell that you are in a healthy relationship, and that's when you have honesty, respect, trust, and open communication, which happens to fall in step number 4, communication.
Communicate. It is so important.
To talk. Like, even the most uncomfortable conversations have to be the ones that, like, take things off your chest and make you breathe and help the next person to breathe, and it brings you closer together. It's almost like when sisters fight, like when me and my sisters fight, afterwards we become closer because we had that tussle. But it shouldn't get to like that, but I'm just saying, like, just having that uncomfortable
moment.
Yeah, that moment. It always works itself out. So just communicate.
Yeah, I like that you said that, because even the most awkward, the most horrible, the most ugly, the most bad, it still deserves a conversation at the end of the day. And I feel like instead of just avoiding it, as some people do, or just sweeping it under the rug, or just not discussing the elephant in the closet, we're going to discuss the whole damn elephant and some. That's what this is here for. But these are, like I said, once again, just tips and tricks to help you out and just give you different tools to help you have better relationships just all around. But like I said, I love that. Just everything, not everything, because people still deserve their privacy and their individualism, but talk about it. If nothing else, talk about it for yourself, because you're the one at the end of the day who's going to have to walk in and who's going to have to live it. But I understand, talk about it to get it off your chest, get it off your heart, get it off your brain, get it off your body. It makes a difference.
Yes, it does. And whenever you feel a lot better whenever you can get something off your chest and just to get it off of you. And that also goes into her 5th tip or advice, which is to, unpack baggage. her example was if somebody tell you the first time that you're a horse, you'll brush it off. But if like two people tell you that you're a horse, you start to question it. But if that third person tell you that you're a horse, then that's where you have to ask them, like, tell me more. Like, so like think about it. Like, if you ever heard somebody tell you, like, let me see.
If you're mean.
Yeah, or loud or something like
Oh yeah, that's mine right there. I'm learning to control that right as we speak.
Or too quiet. Like, check yourself a little bit, because I get told I'm too quiet sometimes. And I'm like, well, hey. Most of the time it's because I don't have anything to talk about. I just say it like that, or I'm in my own world. So
yeah.
But look inside yourself for different faults. That's where it all ties itself back together with number one. Starting with yourself, knowing yourself.
Self-reflection.
Yeah, because people will be able to notice your flaws or notice good things about you that you may not know.
The good and the bad. And that's the thing about it. Sometimes we're so caught in ourselves that some people can see the great in us and we don't even see it in ourselves. And some people can see just as the worst in us and sometimes we don't see it in ourselves. It's just how caught up we be in our own things and what we're doing that we don't take neither one for recognition or acknowledgement. I'm like, hey, let me bag up some and look in the mirror and say, okay, maybe I do get a little up there sometimes. Maybe I do go from 0 to 1,000 sometimes with the voice, but sometimes it can be passion. It can be things. It's just learning how to transfer and to know how to be able to talk and just to emote emotion without it being too much to the point where somebody may feel threatened or don't know if you're mad or don't know if you're angry and different things like that. Kind of like what she was talking about with being quiet. If someone tells you you're mean all the time, or if multiple people are telling you this, take into consideration there wouldn't be 20 people telling you that you're mad or that you're mean or that you're manipulative or that you steal or that you're not the great person that you may think you are and they're just hating. No, nobody's not going to tell you that just to waste their time. So take into consideration and see what type of traits or what type of things that you may think you're not doing. But if someone's telling you to do it, just think about it. Yes, family and friends, take that into consideration. If someone's saying that you're mean or something like that, don't take it as it being backlash or somebody coming for you. Just take it as in that they're trying to not criticize you, but just give you a little bit of advice, especially if they care about you, especially if you know it's somebody who's not going to try to manipulate you or bring something that's not to your benefit to you. So take that in consideration, especially take in consideration who's giving you that message. If you know it's somebody who's not going to bring hindrance towards your way or make it detrimental for you, then think about that.
Yeah, because being able to, that's where the communication comes in, because whenever you're more the type of person that can be approachable, then that makes the whole situation a whole lot better.
Yeah.
Because, like, you can talk about why that person may think you're a horse or whatever the case might be. Do you want to get into the ways of, improving the relationship?
Building the trust. Another thing that we had went over last week, I went over a couple of different ways to help rebuild your trust after a broken relationship. That's what I said. I just said relationship as in general. Because like I said, even though it's 4 different relationships, they all coincide with each other. They all link in together some kind of way, because one relationship is just as important or is just as serious or is just as balanced as the other relationship. Every relationship matters. Every relationship counts. So these are just some of the ways that you can use as tools to try to better your relationship after it's been a betrayal or broken or just trying to build their trust. One ways was to be true to your word. And I know that's hard for a lot of people. I know with life and circumstances and things of that nature, a lot of people say, well, I never thought I would, and I never would have done that, and things like that happen, or I never would have been out of my character. Things like that happen. Don't get me wrong. Life will bring that out of you in more ways than one, but always try to be consistent with staying true to your word and stand on top of your word, and for nobody else, for yourself at the end of the day, because you have to make that choice. You have to stick by that choice, and you have to stick by those words, because if not, some people will make you prove it, or if not, you will eat them literally. So it's all about what you say at the end of the day, and just standing by it and sticking to it, whether it's good or bad. Don't just say things and think don't have to stick by them. We're grown, so don't just think you can say whatever or have something come out your mouth and think you're not supposed to stick by those words, or somebody not going to take those words literally. So these are things that it is. Just honor your commitment and don't make promises that you can't keep.
Mm-hmm.
So little things like that. Those little examples that you can just put towards, like I said, just trying to build better relationships. Did you have or want to say anything about that or elaborate?
It is sometimes kind of hard to make promises that you can't keep because, like, let me see, especially don't do anything involving money, like, because things happen, like a water bill or something like that could come up and you promise to somebody that, you know, you can probably make their dreams come true. No telling what their promise is, but just try your best to just know your limits.
Mm-hmm.
And don't try not to make people expect so much of you at the end of the day.
Especially if you know that you can't reach those, or if you can't reach those expectations, or if you can't meet those expectations, don't set yourself up at the end of the day.
Yeah, destine yourself for greatness, but still
be realistic.
Keep things within reason.
Yeah, be realistic. Be very realistic with things. You always have a big imagination on what you want to do in life and what you really have a passion for, but always be realistic of what can happen when it comes to situations, because those are things that will get you prepared for life situations. The next one would be communicate effectively. Kind of back going off what Ashley was saying, communicate. It is in here because it is so important and people don't do enough of it as parents and relationships, as people, period. Especially the way things are going with social media and with so many things going and being advanced into technology and certain things. A lot more people are not communicating, especially with COVID and the pandemic, and a lot of things are FaceTime and stuff like that, which is fine, but a lot of people are not communicating. A lot of people would rather text than call now, and some people would rather FaceTime than actually talk in person. Even though COVID is going on, you can still social distance and talk. It's still ways around it. I know a lot of things are going on, but some people are old school like that. Some people feel like they get the best feelings when they're talking or when they're communicating right there with someone physically. But just communication, period, is so important, and we need to keep that open and keep that door open when it comes to communication. A couple of examples or a couple of steps would say, be clear about your commitments. Be clear about what you want in your relationship for yourself and for the other person, and what you're trying to do, whatever their relationship may be. Did you have anything you want to say on that?
Yes. What was that step again?
It was just to communicate effectively.
Yeah, because like that's communicating. Like not too many people can read minds or anything like that.
Thank you.
So like whenever you're feeling down or this and that, and then you're in a situation where you have to talk, don't take your frustrations out on people or put your sadness on other people. Just talk. Just talk about it. Like, but still at the end of the day, two people have to agree to be able to want to talk at the same time. So.
And if you feel, I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
You go ahead, because you probably forgot to finish.
No, I wasn't, because it just made me think. Excuse me, when it said communicate effectively, because I know some people say that they don't know how to. Learn, practice. Do it in the mirror. Just try to practice a little bit if you don't know how to communicate effectively, to do little things like that, or just try to say, like, instead of saying you say you make me feel this way, or I feel this way when you do this, so that way you don't feel like you're attacking a person or coming at them sometimes. And that's something that's a whole nother segment or a little topic that we may do, like a little exercise of different ways you can come at a person or start a conversation that may be difficult, or don't know how to communicate effectively, or don't know the right words to say without sounding crazy, or sounding like you're coming for them, or just sound like putting the person on the offense to make them defensive. So that is something that
how to talk to people.
Yeah, and it's important. Some people we all don't know. We all don't know how to talk to people. Everything is a learning experience, and it took me a while to learn how to deliver. My delivery sucks. My tonage need work, but we're working on it. We're processing, and this is some of the things that we're talking about to try to just not only communicate effectively, but just have better relationships. Once again, this is what this is for, just to have better relationships all around, because it's needed, especially what's going on. We need better relationships. My next one after that would be Build trust gradually. It takes time, especially after hurt, especially after things that's happened and it hasn't been the best relationship maybe, or it was the best relationship and things may have happened as far as friendships, financial things, or lies, just manipulation, a lot of different things that can happen that can ruin a relationship. So it will take time. It's nothing that's going to happen overnight, especially if it was something that was really big, something that blew it up to the point that you and that other person may have fell out. So don't think it's just going to be a dream wish that everything is going to go back to what it was, because it's not. You're going to have to rebuild that. You're going to have to take time to build them steps back up to get, you might not even get back to that same friendship that you once had. These are some of the things that you have to acknowledge and, like I said, work on, because it's a process when you have broken relationships and you're trying to mend them. One of the examples is to take small steps. Like, once again, just take building blocks, just take baby crawl steps. Sometimes it takes that time just to
forgive.
Yeah, it's a process, and people need to learn that with all, like I said, even to technology and with so much stuff advancing and moving fast, everything is a process, especially when it comes to your feelings, especially when it comes to hurt, especially when it comes to relationships. That takes time. That's nothing that's going to be fast. And if it's fast, it's okay, but you still have to know that person at the end of the day.
We're all humans, so like that's a special thing about we humans. We have that emotion. Like, it's hard. We have to go through. I think there's like stages of emotions that we have to go through to process certain things.
Certain traumas that depend on what type of life-changing situations that happen in your life.
Whether it's good or bad. Whether it's good or bad. There's stages of different emotions that we go through constantly. So that just goes back to communicating. Trying to, whenever you do this, I feel this.
Yeah, and don't say you, but these are some things we'll look up and have little steps and more in detail of how to open the conversation or how to say how you really feel without making the other person feel like you're talking about them negatively and things like that, which I think it rolls into my next one. But it also says don't expect too much too soon. That's the next example, which, like I said, rings true. You can only do what you can, and you have to give that person time, and y'all have to give each other time to build back up to where you were, or at least build back up to each other where you can at least communicate to what happened or why the relationship fell out anyway. But like I said, once again, these are just little tricks and tips. The next one is make decisions carefully. Yes.
Think critically about everything. Think critical thinking.
Which goes into one of the examples. Think before committing. Before putting yourself out there, before putting your neck out there, before putting your word out there, before putting your name out there, before putting your whole self out there, think about it. If you know you can do it, shoot for it. But if you know you have questions about it, if you know you really can't commit to what you're about to say or what you're about to put out there, don't do it. Because not only will you look like a fool, but you have everybody else look like a fool that you may have told this to or may have did this around or may have said that I was going to do all this. Don't set yourself up for failure, ladies and gentlemen, friends and family. Do not do that. That's what you're not here for. None of us are here for that. So don't do it, people. Don't set yourself up. We're trying to set you up for greatness, not for failure. So don't commit to something that you know you can't. Think before committing. That is the first example. The next one is be organized so you can honor your commitment. Yes. Be in the right mind space. Have the right setup. Have the right supplies. Knowing what you need to do to get this job done at the end of the day. And if you don't, muster up what you can do to get this job done, but know what you can and can't do. Not saying it like that because I don't like to use negative words like can and did. I don't like to use stuff like that because I feel like you can do everything, but be realistic at the end of the day. Be at least organized enough to get the job done. Be in the right mind state or right mind space to get the job done. These are some examples. Have the courage to say no. Let that sink in.
No.
For a lot of you, even to myself for a long time, it was hard, especially when it came to friends and family. It was hard for me to say no. It took a while for me to say no. It took a while.
I still have problems saying no. People just seem so innocent sometimes. So
I have 3 little things, if I can think of them off back. The things that I would say to help you say no are little steps that will help you say no if you're feeling like you're being If you know in your gut that you really don't want to do it, bottom line, if you know you really don't want to, if you go back and be like, now why did you just say yeah when you know you don't want to? Why did you just do that when you know down in your soul you did not feel like doing it? Don't set yourself up for that if you know you didn't do it, because now you're contradicting yourself, and people are going to get used to that routine, and they're going to come back asking you for something else because you said yeah that one time or them 3 times, and now they're like, okay, now I can come back to it since she said that, even though you know you didn't agree with it. You're just going to keep doing it until you get fed up, or one or the other, or until they wear you out. It just depends on what may happen. Say no. Like I said, if you don't want to do it, say no. That's probably my number one. I think I was finna say I had 3 tips if you feel like you've been disrespected, and to speak up for yourself. But just to say no when you know you don't want to. Don't let nobody force you into saying yes, even with family and peer pressure of anything. Because once again, you're standing on your own word. You're committing it to yourself. Yeah. And if you don't want to do it, don't.
And then I know Oprah, she, one of her motivational speeches she gave was, once you first say no, it's so liberating. Like, it's this weird feeling that it gives you. But it gives you more control over yourself, because it's letting you know what you're going to allow into your life, because you're destined for greatness.
Exactly.
And if this is not going to benefit your life in any kind of way, say no. If it's going to take your peace and happiness, say no.
But I like that.
That's what I'm learning now.
By saying yes, you don't know what you could be opening the door up into. Like, you don't know what opportunities you could get. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, by you always saying yes, like I said, you never know what person are willing to take an advantage of you just because you say yes, or what person or what circumstances may come your way just because you say yes all the time and you're opening yourself up. But when you say no, you setting boundaries. You're setting yourself up to the point where you have certain things that you know certain people won't cross just because they know you say no, and they know you have a certain assertiveness about yourself to the point where you'll stand on your word. So that's what it's really about at the end of the day. That's, like I said, it's just one of them. Just making decisions carefully and just really standing on your stuff. Like I said, just thinking about the commitment before you make it. Be organized enough to make that commitment, and just learning how to say no, to give yourself space and give yourself boundaries when it comes to relationships, and knowing what you want and knowing what you're asking for when it comes to these daily relationships that you have with each other. The other one is be consistent. Oh, I feel like that goes right into what I was just. Be consistent with your words. Be consistent with your commitment. Be consistent with what you're saying. Be consistent with your no's. Don't say yeah to one thing and then 2 or 3 weeks later say no to the same thing you just said yeah to. That don't make sense. And then now you're looking like you're contradicting yourself. Or now they're looking like, okay, now you said no one day and then say yeah the next. Let me come back again and see what you say. Like, you just never know how a person may try to play on that when you're not being consistent and not being committed to yourself when it comes to your words and your actions. Exactly. As soon as I said it, that's what I thought about. It's the same thing with kids. Every relationship is just as important as the next. The relationship with your kids, the relationship with your coworkers, the relationship with your lover, just like the relationship with your friends. All of it matters, and all of it means something. But with the example that they gave is trust. Trust is built from consistency. So like I said, just learning to say no, learning to speak on your word, learning to go forth with that commitment, learning to think before you just commit, just learning yourself, period. You'll be more consistent because you know what you will and what you won't do. Mm-hmm. And the other one is be open. Be open. Very, very. Be open. I'm sorry, it's not be open. Participate openly. I'm sorry. Participate openly. Meaning being in a team setting, show that you're listening actively, and give positive feedback. So just being a team player overall, just participating openly, just having that open mind state. Like I said, just having an open mind state about what you're doing, and just like I said, just listening actively and giving positive and respectful feedback. At the end of the day, like I said, if somebody care about you and you're considering what they're saying and taking what they're saying in consideration, then you have to give respectful feedback and actually listen to what they're saying. You just can't ask for advice and then don't listen to what the person says or take into consideration the advice that they give you. And not only that, but just just taking a moment to just process things before you just go into it. That's actively listening. Just don't go off the handle. Just listen and take everything in that they're saying about you. And once we said, like I said, just having perspective feedback, meaning saying like, I understand what you're saying, this is how I feel, or this is what happened, and this situation made me do this, or something like that. Just always be respectful when you're communicating and having conversations with each other when it comes to relationships. That's always important. Always be respectful. Don't never try to go for the jugular or go for someone's throat at the end of the day, because that's never pretty and it's never going to end well. Yeah. So always be respectful when you're giving feedback and when you're getting feedback. So both of them matters.
Yes. Honesty, trust, respect, and open communication. That's what it all boils down to. Like, have that respect and be true to yourself, so you can be true to others. Like, do unto others as you do want to done unto yourself. It's the golden rule.
Treat others the way you want to be treated, more ways than one. So, like you said, once you start respecting yourself, you'll learn to respect others. So, once again, like she said, even though she said trust, consideration, and just open communication, it starts with yourself at the end of the day. Are you respecting yourself? Are you being honest with yourself? Are you even communicating with yourself? These are some of the things, because even though we didn't get to play the clip for you from Leanna Vincent, she ask that, like, what happened the last time you had a good intimate day with yourself, because it matters at the end of the day. Just give yourself a break and know what you want and what you like and how you want to be treated, and it will help you to build and mend better relationships with the ones that's around you.
So we're gonna get ready to wrap this thing up.
Yes, can't wait to see you guys next week with our special guest, Jaleesa. Once again, that is one and picked us and chose us to be brand ambassadors for her. Once again, we're excited and can't wait to see looking forward to the future of this endeavors and business options and opportunities. And we're so grateful and can't wait to see what's coming up.
Sure can't, but we're gonna have to. Gotta have patience here.
Yes. So, even with the relationships, patience on top of everything. Have to have patience.
So once again, thank you all. Thank you so much for supporting us. Continue to like and share our videos. And we will have more activity for you guys as well. It will be a lot more things coming out with Moms on the Mic and our different social medias. We're just getting started. Yeah, so stay patient with us. And stay tuned. So peace, love, happiness. I wish all prosperity and good health to everyone. I love you, friends and family. Love, respect, and always consider each other. Always. Always. Hi, I'm Johnnae. And I'm Ashley. And we're Moms on the Mic.